All right, so are you ready to dive into the world of dark chocolate?
Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
You sent in this Everyday Health article, 8 healthy reasons to eat dark chocolate.
Yeah.
And you really want to know if all those health benefits are legit.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Is it a superfood?
Right, or is it just a delicious excuse to indulge your sweet tooth?
That is a great question.
I think so too, and I think this is going to be a really fun deep dive.
And what I find fascinating is there is so much research out there about dark chocolate.
Yeah.
So maybe instead of just, running down the list of every potential benefit, let's pick a couple of the most interesting ones and really explore them.
I love that.
So let's start with one of the big ones, heart health.
All right, so the article kicks off with this really bold claim that dark chocolate can help prevent heart disease and stroke.
Wow.
Now, that seems like a pretty big promise for something that we usually think of as a treat.
Yeah, I know, right? But there is a study mentioned that found people who ate chocolate at least once a week had an 8% lower risk of developing blocked arteries.
Mm.
Now, keep in mind that is just one study, but it does make you think, doesn't it?
Oh, it totally does.
Mm.
And the article says that it's the flavonoids in the dark chocolate that are thought to be responsible for this.
Okay.
Something about helping to produce nitric oxide,
Right.
which then relaxes your blood vessels and lowers your blood pressure.
Yeah.
I remember learning that nitric oxide was good for you, but I never connected it to dark chocolate before.
Exactly. And there is more. Another study mentioned looked at veterans.
Okay.
And veterans who ate about an ounce of dark chocolate regularly were less likely to develop coronary artery disease.
Really?
Yeah. So while more research is needed, it seems like there is growing evidence suggesting a link between dark chocolate and improved heart health.
Okay, so maybe there is something to this heart health hero idea after all.
Yeah, maybe.
But let's move on to another potential benefit that I think is really fascinating. Could dark chocolate actually make you smarter and happier?
Hmm.
I mean, if it can help me focus and improve my mood, I'm all for it.
Well, you're in luck because the article talks about this too. It suggests that dark chocolate, especially those with a higher cacao percentage, like 70%, can stimulate neural activity in the pleasure and reward areas of your brain.
Hmm.
And that might be one of the reasons why we tend to associate chocolate with feelings of happiness and stress relief.
That totally makes sense. But what about boosting brain power?
Yeah.
Is there any evidence to back up that claim?
There is. The article mentions a study where eating just under 50 grams of 70% cacao, dark chocolate, was shown to increase something called neuroplasticity.
Neuroplasticity, I have no idea what that is. Is
Yeah.
that a good thing?
It is a good thing.
Yeah.
So think of neuroplasticity as your brain's ability to form new connections. And it's super important for learning and memory and overall cognitive flexibility. And the fact that dark chocolate may enhance this ability is pretty remarkable, don't you think?
Wow, that is really cool. So basically, dark chocolate could maybe help our brains make new connections.
Yeah.
And that could lead to better memory
Wow.
and even possibly a brighter mood. Sign me up.
Now, hold on. Before you go stocking up on chocolate, let's dive a little deeper into this mood-boosting idea.
Okay.
The article also mentions a link between dark chocolate consumption and a reduced risk of clinical depression.
Wait, seriously. Chocolate can help fight depression.
Well, the research is still ongoing,
Yeah.
but the connection is definitely interesting. It seems that the flavonoids, those powerful antioxidants that we talked about earlier, tend to accumulate in areas of your brain responsible for memory and learning.
Right.
So it's possible that they could also play a role in mood regulation as well.
This is fascinating. So dark chocolate might benefit our heart,
Yeah.
our brain, and maybe even our mood. It sounds a little too good to be true.
I know, right?
But let's not get too excited just yet. The article also claims that dark chocolate could be a diabetes defender. So what's the deal there?
That's a great question. And it all comes down to how your body processes glucose,
Okay.
which is essential for regulating blood sugar levels.
Right.
And the article suggests that dark chocolate might actually improve this process.
Okay, I'm listening. How could dark chocolate possibly help with blood sugar control?
Well, it seems that those flavonoids are at it again. They're thought to reduce oxidative stress, which is a process that can contribute to insulin resistance. And by improving insulin sensitivity, dark chocolate could potentially help prevent those drastic spikes in blood sugar and even lower the risk of developing type 2 diabetes.
They actually mention a study where people who rarely ate chocolate were almost twice as likely to develop diabetes compared to those who indulged in some dark chocolate at least once a week.
Wow.
That's a pretty big difference, right?
Yeah. It is. But remember, this is just one study, and we definitely need more research to confirm that link.
Sure.
But it is pretty exciting to see these potential benefits starting to emerge.
It really is. So dark chocolate might be a heart health hero,
Uh-huh.
a brain booster, a mood lifter, and potentially even a diabetes defender. Is there anything this delicious treat can't do?
Well, before we get carried away, let's look at another interesting claim.
Okay.
Weight loss.
What?
Could dark chocolate help you shed a few pounds? Seems a little counterintuitive, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know, right? We've always been told that chocolate is like the enemy of a healthy diet.
Right.
But this article is suggesting that dark chocolate might actually trigger hormones that make you feel fuller, which could maybe help you control your appetite and those cravings.
Yeah, that's the idea. And they even mention this book called Eat Chocolate, Lose Weight.
Oh, wow.
And it promotes this idea of eating dark chocolate before or after meals to help with satiety. Now, that doesn't mean you should be, swapping out your vegetables for a chocolate bar.
Right.
But it does challenge the idea that chocolate is purely an indulgence.
Yeah, so maybe a little bit of dark chocolate could help curb those cravings and prevent overeating.
Exactly.
I'm starting to see the appeal here.
But remember, it's not a magic bullet.
Of course, of course.
You still need a healthy, balanced diet for sustainable weight management.
Okay, I'm hearing you no chocolate only diet for me, but it is interesting to think that it could play a role in weight management.
Yeah.
Speaking of fighting the good fight, the article even touches on the possibility of dark chocolate as a cancer combatant.
Now, that's a pretty bold claim.
Yeah.
And it's important to note that the evidence in this area is still pretty limited.
Well, the article explains that antioxidants, like those found in dark chocolate, can help protect your cells from damage caused by free radicals.
Right.
And that kind of damage is often linked to aging and diseases like cancer.
That's right. And studies have shown a connection between a diet rich in those flavonoids, like the ones in dark chocolate, and a reduced risk of certain cancers. There's also some research on magnesium, which is also found in chocolate.
Okay.
And its role in supporting immune cells that can actually target abnormal cells.
So while we need more research, it's definitely an interesting area to explore. Who knew that something as simple as dark chocolate could potentially have such powerful effects on our health?
It really is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But we've covered a lot of ground already.
Yeah, we have.
And there are a few more potential benefits that the article highlights.
Okay, let's hear them.
Let's talk about skin health for a minute.
All right.
Remember all those nutrients and minerals we talked about earlier, like copper, iron, and magnesium?
Yeah.
Well, it turns out they could be good for your skin, too.
I am all for anything that can help keep my skin looking youthful. What do those minerals do?
Well, the article specifically mentions manganese.
Okay.
And manganese plays a key role in collagen production. And collagen is essential for keeping your skin elastic and preventing wrinkles.
Interesting.
So, those squares of dark chocolate could be contributing to a healthy glow.
Bonus. But we can't forget about cholesterol, right?
Right.
The article suggests that dark chocolate might help raise good cholesterol and lower the bad kind.
That's right. It seems like dark chocolate can be a friend to your heart in more ways than one. The article even mentions a study where a combination of almonds, dark chocolate, and unsweetened cocoa significantly lowered LDL cholesterol, which is the bad cholesterol in participants who were overweight or obese. It's a great example of how powerful a combination of healthy foods can be.
Yeah, so it's not just about the dark chocolate itself.
Right.
But also how it interacts with other things in our diet.
Exactly. And speaking of what's in dark chocolate, it also contains oleic acid.
Okay.
Which is a heart-healthy monounsaturated fat that's also found in olive oil.
Wait, chocolate has healthy fats. My mind is officially blown.
Well, cocoa butter, which is a component of chocolate, contains oleic acid.
Right.
But it's important to remember that cocoa butter is also high in saturated fat, so moderation is key.
Right. It's all about balance. So let's recap, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
We've got antioxidants, fiber, potassium, calcium, copper, magnesium. It sounds like dark chocolate is a nutritional powerhouse.
It really is. And you're absolutely right. Dark chocolate is packed with nutrients.
Yeah.
But let's be real. It does contain calories and
Yeah,
fat, so
right.
enjoying it in moderation is crucial.
The article recommends sticking to about 1 ounce per day to reap the benefits without going overboard. And they emphasize choosing dark chocolate with a high cacao content, at least 70% or more.
Absolutely. Choosing dark chocolate with a higher cacao percentage not only means you're getting more of those beneficial compounds,
Right.
but it also usually means less sugar, which is always a win.
Exactly. So to sum it all up, it sounds like we shouldn't necessarily be afraid of dark chocolate,
Yeah.
but we should definitely be mindful of the type we choose
Right.
and how much we consume.
Exactly. And I think this article really highlights a broader shift that's happening in how we view food and nutrition these days. We're kind of moving away from those overly simplistic categories of, good foods and bad foods,
Right.
and recognizing that it's much more nuanced than that.
So it's about understanding how different foods can impact our health and well-being,
Yeah,
both positively and negatively,
absolutely.
and making informed choices that align with our goals.
Precisely. And I think that's a key takeaway from this deep dive.
Yeah.
We can enjoy delicious foods like dark chocolate while also being mindful of their potential impact on our health.
So where do we go from here? We've uncovered all this interesting information about dark chocolate,
Right.
but what does it actually mean for our listeners?
Well, that is the million-dollar question, isn't it? I think the most important thing is to approach dark chocolate with a sense of curiosity
Yeah.
and balance. Enjoy it as a treat, savor the flavor, but also recognize that it might be more than just a simple indulgence.
I love that. So we can appreciate both the pleasure and the potential health benefits of dark chocolate
Exactly.
without feeling like we have to choose one or the other.
Exactly. And maybe, armed with this new knowledge, you can make more informed choices about how you incorporate it into your life.
I think this has been such a fascinating deep dive into the world of dark chocolate.
Me too.
I feel like I've learned so much about its potential impact on our health.
It's amazing how much we can learn from just one article.
Right.
And you know how much more there is to explore.
Speaking of exploring, I'm curious, are there any downsides to eating dark chocolate?
Ooh, that's a great point.
Yeah.
While we've been focusing on the potential benefits,
Yeah.
it's important to acknowledge that dark chocolate can have some drawbacks too.
Okay.
For example, it contains caffeine,
Right.
which might be a concern for some people.
And as we mentioned earlier, it does contain calories and fat, so overindulging could definitely lead to weight gain.
Exactly. And we should also remember that portion control is key, especially when it comes to something as delicious and tempting as dark chocolate.
So I think this deep dive has really given us a lot to chew on, so to speak.
Yeah.
We've explored the potential benefits of dark chocolate for heart health, brain function, blood sugar regulation, weight management,
Yeah.
even its possible roles in cancer prevention and skin health.
It's been quite a journey. And while more research is always needed,
Right.
the evidence we've discussed today, I think, really suggests that dark chocolate might be more than just a guilty pleasure.
Right.
It could potentially have a place in a healthy lifestyle.
But as we've emphasized throughout this whole deep dive,
Yeah,
moderation is key.
of course.
Enjoy dark chocolate as part of a balanced diet,
Right?
and don't forget about those portion sizes.
Right. And let's not forget one of the most important takeaways. Choosing dark chocolate with high cacao content, aim for at least 70% or more
Right.
to really maximize those potential benefits.
So what do you think? After all this, is a little bit of dark chocolate something you would consider adding to your routine?
It's definitely worth thinking about.
Yeah.
Knowing what we know now, a daily square of dark chocolate, chosen mindfully,
Yeah,
might be a delicious way to support your well-being.
I think that's a great point. Well, that's a wrap on our deep dive into the world of dark chocolate. We hope you've enjoyed this exploration and maybe even discovered a new appreciation for this surprisingly complex treat. Until next time, happy snacking.